Well, hello and welcome to live FA Cup coverage of Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Both teams aiming to make history, as neither have made the quarter-finals previously, and a spot in the last 8 awaits the winners this afternoon. We're at the VBS Community Stadium in Sutton, Surrey for today's 5th round clash in the 55th renewal of the competition, won last season by Manchester United, the team who dumped Newcastle out of the Cup last term. But this is a big opportunity for both. Dora Kaminski's side have already made club history in the competition, being the first fully professional Palace women's team to win back-to-back FA Cup wins last season. For Becky Langley's team, a chance to test themselves once again against top-flight opposition. Palace, we know, are struggling in the Women's Super League, bottom of the 12-team top division, with only one league win to their name following promotion from the Championship last term. For Newcastle, their upward trajectory has been impressive. Back-to-back promotions saw them take their place in the second tier for the first time this campaign. Let's check out the teams for you. Crystal Palace give a debut to January signing Alison Swaby, previously at AC Milan. The Jamaican international moved mid-season from the Italian top flight and plays for the first time today for a new team. Elsewhere, Annabelle Blanchard, India Paige Riley, Katrina Vai are all recalled. 4 changes then all told for Crystal Palace. 4 alterations also for Newcastle from their last outing in the Championship. A 2-2 draw away at Southampton. Hannah Greenwood, Amy Andrews, Emily Murphy and Beth Lumsden all come in for Becky Langley's team. Shania Hales will lead the line. Newcastle's top scorer has 9 goals in the Championship this season and is the second tier's joint top sharpshooter. Well, Palace have reached this stage of the competition 3 times in the past 6 seasons, with 5th round appearances in 1920, 2021 and most recently last term. On each occasion they were eliminated by top tier opposition, Brighton, Arsenal and Chelsea most recently respectively. Newcastle, well, they've already beaten 4th tier Middlesbrough 2-0 at home in the 3rd round before claiming a 1-0 success over Nottingham Forest in the 4th round to get to this stage of the competition. Palace, of course, entered the FA Cup at the 4th round stage and easily defeated Sheffield United 6-1 here in Surrey in their only game in the FA Cup so far this season. Our referee is Megan Wilson. She took charge of Newcastle's 5-0 loss at United in the FA Cup last season. Newcastle fans will be hoping that that is not a bad open for them today. Newcastle, of course, in the Championship this season, 7th in the standings. That doesn't tell the complete story. They are just 6 points off leaders Birmingham with a game in hand. This will be close. Palace finding out just how big a step up it is to mix it with some of the best teams, not just in England, but of course on the continent as well. They have struggled to adapt to life in the WSL and could be in the Championship last season. And it's not a huge stretch of the imagination to suggest that Newcastle might be playing in the WSL. They have got grand designs. They've had some big crowds at St James's Park, as we know, when they played at the men's ground. And there's a big game coming up against Sunderland in the Championship in the not too distant future. So here we go, a 5th round FA Cup tie to savour as Crystal Palace host Newcastle, both with an eye on making the quarter-finals of this grand old competition for the first time in their history. The status would suggest that Crystal Palace are the favourites here, but there isn't too much to separate the two in the league pyramid, of course, with Crystal Palace the bottom of the WSL. Just hasn't quite clicked for them. It was always going to be difficult. I think everyone associated with the club knew that as they look to start strongly here. But they are bottom with just that solitary success so far. 3 draws as well. They did draw their last game, incidentally, against Brighton. And they are starting positively. And how here? Lots of players inside the Newcastle penalty areas. The ball just bobbles out. Ashley Verdon looking to get forward. She's scored just once so far this campaign, that coming against Spurs in the heartbreaking defeat here at 3-2 reverse. Was 2-2 up until the 90th minute. They conceded very late on, and Verdon scored a couple of goals in the FA Cup success over Sheffield United, a 6-1 victory. Also scored in the League Cup as well, another win. So when she does score, it's usually a positive sign for Crystal Palace. I'll be hoping that she can get on the score sheet this afternoon against Newcastle. Newcastle themselves have got a sharp shooter in the shape of Shania Hales, who waits for the delivery inside the penalty here. It's a really positive run over on the right-hand side. Well, Amy Andrews does like to get forward, back in the starting 11 for this particular fixture. A couple of goals in the Championship this season, last against Southampton last time out. A couple of goals in the League Cup as well. And this is a really positive start to the fixture. Early corner here, which Demi Stokes, who's got so much experience, will take. Long time with Manchester City, of course. Silverware-laden career, including the Cup on a number of occasions, the last back in 2017. Short corner taken, it's hoisted towards the far post, and it's nodded behind. Good delivery. Good corner routine here. Cross is deep. Another opportunity this time from the other flank. I suspect this will be an in-swinger, although Stokes is short if required. There goes the signal. Well, plenty of players in black and white striped shirts inside the box, fired in towards the penalty spot. Not the worst header back towards the 6-yard area. Well claimed, though. Manuel Majasari, who's now first choice, it would appear, ahead of Shea Yanez, who's made the most WSL appearances this season, but Majasari has come in and played the last couple, has also been the keeper in the League Cup this campaign, signed from Uppsala, the Swedish side, Finnish international. Positive start from both teams here. Hopefully the shape of things to come. Of course, it will be done and dusted one way or another today. Extra time and penalties may well be required. And I don't think there's going to be a lot between these two, but good attacking attempt from the get-go. India Paige Riley restored to the starting lineup. Will play it back. Touch for Josie Green. He's got plenty of experience. Sign from Leicester. And then Swarby gets the touch. She is a Coppa Italia winner, incidentally, with Roma. So she's had a taste of cup success in Italy. Had a loan spell at Paris Saint-Germain as well. Former United States under-20 internationals. She switched allegiance to Jamaica and has played alongside Shania Hales, incidentally, who she will know from international call-ups. Of course, she's playing against her today, so that's going to be an interesting battle between the two. But she's got a lot of experience, Warby. She's a good player. She's good on the ball. Distribution is usually excellent. Just looking to lift it forward there, the Palace newcomer. A lot of quality in the ranks of both sides. I think that ball had just gone out. Beat Middlesbrough 2-0 in the third round, fourth tier side, local derby. Then Forest, who are a third tier team in the previous round by a goal to nil. Have won 5 of the last 6 in the competition, but never been to the quarterfinals. Same can be said, of course, as Palace, as we know. Quarterfinals played in early March. Final at Wembley, of course, this season. Draw to be done early next week on Tuesday from Wembley, around about 6:30. One of these teams will be in the draw, will be in the hat. Palace to play it forwards. Stengel does well. Stokes does better. Stengel, who's got experience and just beginning to find her form as well, Katie Stengel. She scored in the defeat at the hands of Spurs. She also scored against Liverpool earlier this season. Just a couple of goals, much expected after signing from Gotham in the summer. WSL experience with Liverpool and scored goals in the Championship as well. Much travelled. Milligao will take the free kick on this near side. Danish international who Played for the national side back end of last year. Flighted cleverly towards the back post. Stengel gets a touch on this, looking to recycle. Palace still have possession. Nodded up into the air by Swarby. Come to this near side and Gale. Now, opportunity for Newcastle to break. Here is Shaniles to come forward, trying to push it into that inside left channel. It's good defensive work, though, from Palace. And Katrina Vai back towards Manjasari. Now, this is Swarby once again. Good industry and energy over the course of the opening exchanges. One thing that I've been really impressed with in the WSL and the Championship, for that matter, is the commitment and energy that these players have right the way through to the 90. This is Stengel, who comes across and looks to get the shot away from a tight angle. She's been very busy in the opening exchanges here. The first touch just gets away from her a little bit, but it's a difficult opportunity. It hits the side net, and you've almost got to be off the ground and get in the air and get your hips out of the way and turn and take the shot on. Not easy. Such a technically gifted player. And Palace starting strongly here. They are a side that generally don't have most of the ball in the Women's Super League. As you would imagine, their average possession this season in the top flight is just 40.5%. Contrast that to Newcastle, who usually do have much of the ball in Championship fixtures, 54.9. They rank fourth in that particular metric. So because of the difference in league status, the WSL side hosting a Championship side, those possession stats may well be turned on their head. It's going to be interesting to see how the two teams cope with that. I'm sure that Laura Kaminski and Becky Langley would have talked about it with their players. Palace in particular looking to use the ball a little bit better than they normally do. They would sit off the very best teams, of course, in the WSL. That is natural, certainly when it comes to the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea City in particular. Farm the ball in the WSL, as we know. Trying to mirror what the men's team do. Back heel to clear. Hales. She's got good experience, you know, Hales. She's been around the top two tiers over the last few years. She's got 9 goals this season. A couple against Portsmouth recently and again against Southampton. She's got 3 in the last 2. Signed from Bristol City. A couple of years, of course, in the Championship with Bristol City, and was part of the promotion-winning side. Villa and Birmingham previously. Got pace and a real eye for goal as well. You can see she's going to be used mainly as a lone striker out of possession. Player to try and hit with long balls over the top. It's not the worst strategy against a Palace side that have conceded an awful lot this season. They've conceded 35 in the WSL. Palace coming forwards. Stoke should be able to clear here. Newcastle have possession. Give it away. It's a little loose. Likewise that as well. Newcastle just struggling here to clear their lines. The snap shot just wide, not too far away. Blanchard, I think it was, that took it on, was it? Yeah. Well, back in the starting lineup, Annabelle Blanchard. 3 goals this season. Last against Villa in the 3-2 away defeat back in November. She grabbed a couple in the Leicester win, the only WSL success for Crystal Palace this campaign. 3rd season at Palace now after a couple at Birmingham. Previously on the books of Liverpool, England junior international a few years ago, turned out for the under-19s. Here she's again getting involved. One challenge ridden. Oh, and it just won't fall for Blanchard. That was good play from Minigile. Talked about those goals that Palace have conceded. 35 in the top flight. Their expected goals against figure is 26.7. Now, either they're defending poorly, or the keeper's not up to scratch, or most likely, in my opinion, there will be a little bit of regression over the course of the remainder of the season. And they might be just a little bit tighter at the back. They've been a little unfortunate, I think, to concede as many as they have done. And Jasari punts it long. Stokes. Went to Gateshead College, pleased to go back to the northeast after a long time in Manchester. Here is Hales. Taken down by Stobbs, who looked to move through the gears. It's going to roll through towards Majasari again. They will have chances at Newcastle in this game. That is almost for sure. Their shots per 90 in the Championship, 12.7 they average in a fixture. That is more than any other side in the second tier. Do create plenty of chances for their strikers. Beaten in 4. 2 wins, 2 draws in that mini sequence. Just 1 defeat in their last 6. That coming against Manchester United in the League Cup, which they were involved in for the first time. Stengel's going to chase this one down. Fed back towards Wone. Moan does well. Claudia Moan, the keeper, 3 clean sheets this season. Back come Palace. Lee Woodham over on the left-hand side, does like to get forward. Only missed 1 game so far this season in the WSL. Welsh international, who scored in that European qualifier against Ireland. Wales, of course, through to the European Championships in the summer in Switzerland. It's going to be some tournament. Hales loses out. So Lumsden battling away. .13 minutes in, and no goals so far. Space to work with over on the right-hand side. Let's see what Newcastle can do here. Hills has made a run through the centre. That's just a little short. Decent ball in, though, here, and the header glanced towards goal. Well, it's comfortable, really, for Majasari, but the intent was good, and it was Beth Lumsden once again that was trying to get inside the penalty area to get better contact on that. 3 goals this season, last in the win against Sunderland back in October. That Sunderland game that drew a record championship crowd. It's something that Newcastle are keen to beat, incidentally. Then keeps it in. And still going. It's a positive run, and the cutback is good. Minigale got the shot away, but it was blocked. That reverse fixture against Sunderland, we referenced 15,387 at the Stadium of Light for the derby between the two, but I think there's already been 16,000 tickets sold for the reverse in March at St James's, so that'll be a new high. Newcastle have had some sizable crowds when they have played at St James's Park. They're unbeaten there as well, incidentally. Had over 28,000 for an FA Cup tie against Barnsley back in November 22. Fed back by Miller Guy, rather. Gale, who has scored once so far this season against West Ham. Another Danish international. Minigale in the Palace ranks. There's Katrine Vyers as well at the back. Big day in the Women's FA Cup 5th round, of course, today, with plenty of the big hitters in action a little later. Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, all with home ties, expected to make it through to the quarter-finals. It's good running here from Amy Andrews once again on the right-hand side, but really good defensive work. Of course, yesterday saw Manchester United go through comfortably, beating Wolves 6-0, and Villa beating Brighton 3-2. Two top-flight teams going head-to-head. too many shocks so far, but there might be some to come later. And I guess if Newcastle did beat Palace here, it would be deemed a shock, given it is WSL versus Championship here. Lumsden. It's a good run. Here is Stokes. Lumsden again. Hales waits inside the penalty area. Josie Green does well. Ends up going down as well and still on the turf at the moment. Another Welsh international in the Palace ranks will be heading to the Euros. Okay, to continue it would appear. Well, 17 minutes in, 0-0. Both teams started on the front foot, showing plenty of ambition, but we haven't seen the breakthrough just yet. Palace drew that game against Brighton. Brighton were down to 10 players just inside the second half. Consider that last-minute goal to Spurs to lose last time they played at home. Lumsden breaking forward again. Swaby watches it well. Majasari to lift it to relative safety. Riley misjudges that. Stokes will play it in field, but she gives it away. This is Blanchard. In back by Green towards Majasari. And then flicked on cleverly here for Verdon to try and chase. Better from Cataldo. Verdon's going to chase it down. This is Deanna Cooper who's across, just lets it run out of play. Former Chelsea defender who came via Reading. Not part of the Chelsea squad that won the FA Cup back in the 17-18 season. She was out with an ACL injury, unfortunately, then. Swaby's header. Blanchard tries to flick it on. Newcastle win possession. Blanchard battling in midfield. Stokes will help out. Clever ball towards Lumsden, who helps it on. Now then, Newcastle on the move here, and this is Shania Hales, and it's still Hales. It's a really good block. Terrific work from Katrina Vai. Movement was excellent here from Hales, just peeled away to the left-hand side. First touch was okay, but you've got to give the defender credit for coming across and dealing with the danger. Could she have taken it on first time? Well, maybe, but we're being ultra-critical there. Goal-scoring record speaks for itself. Newcastle then with the corner, third of the game. Call this one towards the far post. It's going to bounce through and out. Taken down by Cooper. Palace win it back. No way forward over on that left-hand side, though, for Lexi Potter. Has to come back towards Alison Swaby. Green for Swaby once again. Good press from Newcastle. Plenty of players in advanced areas. Mina Gale helps play through that, though, and races forward. Was she caught there? Referee thinks about pulling the yellow card. Just a free kick. Megan Wilson in charge today. This is Green. Riley back towards Josie Green. Pressure from Emily Murphy. Vi has it again. Verdon and Stengel waiting for the ball further forwards here. Blanchard edge of the penalty area now. Still Palace probe away. This is Lexi Potter. Oh, Josie Green just about comes to her, nearly loses possession. Riley to play it back, Green to play it in field. Newcastle are well organised, defensive shape is good. Vi will play it to the left-hand side. Now here's an opportunity. Woodham to get forward on the left-hand side, looking to get the cross in. It's a corner. And that's the flank that you sense that Crystal Palace might have a little bit of joy down, because Woodham really likes to get forward. We've seen Vi and Woodham combine well. Verdon as well will move to that left-hand side. Stengel's going to go more through the centre. Swaby's up for this corner. Crystal Palace looking to put some pressure on Newcastle here. Lofted towards the far post, and the glancing header from Josie Green is wide. Hasn't scored for Palace since moving from Leicester. A couple of seasons at Leicester after 5 at Tottenham. The Newcastle defenders under pressure immediately. Stokes to curl it down the line. Kept in play neatly by Lumsden, looking for Shania Hales. Lexi Potter. Palace have it again. This is Swaby. "18 months or so at Milan after a couple at Angel City previously at Roma. Coppa Italia went back in 2021. Magisari. Oh, that's a little bit awkward. It's gone straight to Lumsden here. Can she take any sort of advantage? Stokes over on the left-hand side. Hales wants it edge of the penalty area. Newcastle push once again after that defensive mistake. I think the ball had just gone. Clever touch initially by Lois Job. Newcastle's turn to come forward. Oh, read by Woodham, who pushes it forward. Verdon's on the move on the left-hand side. Woodham's continued her run. That was Millie Gale who'd made a move forward. There is Lexi Potter again to this near side, and Riley, who will control. New Zealand international who played in the Olympics. Blanchard with a clever one too. It's on the left side, looks to feed it back towards Stengel. Don't think she was expecting it. There was space to have a crack there. Claudia Moan waits. Player of the year last season, incidentally, for Sunderland. First choice for the previous couple of campaigns in the Championship for a former club. Game was just slowed a little. Naturally it would do. Both of these two teams feeling each other out, of course, and still looking to really find a pattern of play that can work for them. That's not a decent looking ball in towards Shania Hales. Should she have done better there? It's a clever free kick, wasn't it? Touch to the right hand side and then a fairly flat trajectory as it comes in. Well, it was on her left side, it was at an awkward height, and it was moving away from goal. But she's such a good player, you, to a certain extent, expect her to do a little bit better. Not easy. Newcastle's press, though, is working fairly well. Blanchard loses out. .26 minutes in. Touch from Potter. Given away. Joe looks to play it forwards here. It's all a little bit awkward, but Majasari comes and makes sense of it all to punt it long. Now then, the flag is up there. Coming back from an offside position. A bit unlucky, but the right decision. Newcastle on the move again. Playing really well against the top flight team. Well, that's a bit awkward. Blanchard should make it work from Minagale's touch. This is Swaby. And then back towards Majasari. Thought about going long. Hales and Lumsden looking to affect the press here. Well, that's coolly done. Well, you want to try and play through the press. You bait it and you try and go a little bit long or play through. That's how you create the opportunities. That's how you create the space. It can look a little bit panicked on the other occasion, but an awful lot of coaches want teams to play that way. And you can see how Palace now have worked the opening with space in front of them. This is Blanchard to play it forward. It's towards Verden. Newcastle just a little hesitant there. Actually, Verden sees a shot blocked. Nice touch. Lexi Potter going in the wrong direction. Hales is going to put the pressure on. Swaby, international teammate, will play it forward. Blanchard loses out. And then it's won back by Milligale. That's a good ball to this near side as well. Now, let's see what Riley can do here for Crystal Palace. Pushes it forward. Stengel to turn, back to goal. Spins one way, then the other. Still Stengel looks to play towards the far post. Cleared away. Woodham, clever ball to the left-hand side, and Katrina Vey. Newcastle to clear, holding the top division side at the moment. We're involved in the League Cup, of course, this season. They did finish bottom of Group A, drawing one of their games but losing the shootout for the extra point. They were beaten by United and Liverpool. Everton, the other team in their group, to buy out the competition, but it gives them that experience against top division teams. Beaten in 5 in the Championship since the defeat to Bristol City. They have scored in their last 9 in all competitions since that loss to Bristol City. Here is Redden. Thumped away by Joel. Palace haven't won any of their last 10 in the league since that Leicester success. Beaten Charlton in the League Cup, and of course Sheffield United in the FA Cup. Haven't managed a clean sheet in their last 7 since the League Cup success over Charlton. And with the win against Leicester, the only other shutout that they've managed. But they're a little bit more capable than others in the top flight in terms of scoring goals. 11 more than Leicester, same as Everton. Expected goals, 4-figure, just under 12. So that's about par for what you'd expect from what they've created so far in the top flight. But not the lowest figure. Bit of a midfield battle at the moment, isn't it? Newcastle looking to come forwards here, though. Threaded through initially by Murphy. One back by Veit. Lumsden has been busy in advanced areas. Stokes always assured with the ball at her feet. Well-timed challenge, though, from Millie Gale. Throw-in taken quickly, just beyond the first half an hour then here in this fifth round FA Cup tie between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Neither of these two clubs have been in the quarter-finals previously, so one will be making history. Which one? Suddenly just a couple of games away from a Wembley appearance. What an achievement that would be for either of these two teams. Blanchard comes away with possession here for Crystal Palace. It's a really good run. Verden left-hand side if she can spot her. She's gone through to the centre here. This is Stengel to take it up, a twist and a turn, and she's just dallied with the ball at her feet, Katie Stengel. Thought Verden was the better option. Flag is up. Really powerful run from Annabelle Blanchard. Terrific stuff from the former England under-19 international. Got to play it down at the minute. Well, it's been a good contest so far. Newcastle, the championship team, have shown ambition. They've not come here to try and play for extra time and penalties. They look to get forward, as you would imagine, with some good attacking players. They've done well at the back. But clear-cut opportunities, shots on target have been few and far between so far in this cup tie. Just an opportunity for Becky Langley and co to get thoughts across here. Just to the right, they just had a shot, and well, interesting to see what sort of changes they might make later on in this fixture. There is the coach there. You can just see, just speaking to Demi Stokes. Well, she's got to be fairly pleased, I think, about how her team has gone about their business. Look, they're holding a WSL side now. Crystal Palace are and the new team in the top flight, of course, and did win the championship last season, so you can spin it in a number of different ways, but they've recruited well. They've got some good players, international standard players, and would be expected to win this game. Certainly when you look at that form line through Sheffield United. Here is Stengel. Drops the shoulder, moves the other way. Clever footwork. Ricochets and doesn't get the bounce, though. Playing out from the back. It's a little more direct. Lumsden after it. Guided back by Josie Green. Majasari sees Hales race towards her, has to get rid quickly. Wooden flicks it on. Palace under a little bit of pressure here. Taken down by Katrina Vai. Stengel is suggesting that she was fouled. Nice determined run and sliding challenge just to keep the move alive there for Newcastle. It's just that pressure and energy that has caused a situation where a long throw might be the way forward. Hales will lay it off. Back here towards McKeegan Stobbs. Continues on away. This is Stokes. Looking to whip the cross in. Taken down. It was an awkward touch from Amy Andrews. You could see what she was trying to do. Very, very difficult to control it. Something from Durham. He scored a lot of goals in the college system in the United States for Western Illinois University a couple of years ago. 6 in the championship for Durham last season, 2 this term for Newcastle. This is Lumsden. Again, it's good determination. And Swarby comes across, but the challenge on Lumsden was an illegal one, and that's going to be a free kick here for Newcastle in a really dangerous area. So Lumsden and Joel standing over this. Lumsden arm up the signal. Is it going to be an outswinger or an in-swinger? It is going to be Lumsden with the outswinger. Ricochets around and the shot fired in. It's not completely away. Swarby deals with the job. Never really had a clear-cut side of goal there, Newcastle. Then trying to get Riley away on this right-hand side, cleared away. Throw-in taken. Stengel will play it back, but it's misplaced, and it will be another throw this time for Newcastle. Demi Stokes to take. Drew the last game away from home against Southampton. Prior to that against Sheffield United, a 1-1 away draw. Obviously, that form line is key with this game in mind, given Palace's victory over Sheffield United. Haven't won any of the last 4 away. Last win coming against Birmingham, Leicester for 3 on the spin. Birmingham table toppers, of course. Weren't beaten in the first 4 this season. Scored in their last 3 on their travels, and indeed 7 of 8 this season. A lot of stats suggesting that we should see a few goals. This is Stengel now, then what can she do? Still Stengel gets to the byline to pull it back. Ricochets up, nearly falls for Riley. Blanchard with a hit! Hits the post! Newcastle get lucky. Stengel to the byline. The clearance popped up towards Riley. An awkward attempt at clearing. And then the shot was just bending away from goal, wasn't it, really? Hit the inside of the post. Palace don't get the rub of the green. Frame of the goal rattled. Was on the move at the other end, just unable to take it in her stride. She was unlucky there because she knew where the ball was going. Does well to keep it in play, wins a throw. Stokes to turn. Beth Lumsden again. Stokes once more. Hales calling for it. Here is Shania Hales. Can't quite turn, tries to lay it back towards Stokes, but that's clever defensive play from Alison Swarby. Just lets it run out. Goal kick. Swarby on her debut, remember, she's been assured at the back so far for Crystal Palace. Newcastle win it not for long. Stengel to turn, always graceful in possession. Then always busy on the ball as she comes forward on the left-hand side. And it was Minagal that was getting forward inside the 6-yard box, but Newcastle will clear. Palace win it back. Vin. Oh, clever touch. Really nice footwork from the Dutch international, and she uses a pace here. Taken here by Guile. Yeah, Minagal always positive, always gets the head up and wants to move towards goal, but he got away from her. Scored in the 5-2 away defeat at the hands of West Ham back in December. Did score in that cup win over Sheffield United as well. Also scored in the League Cup success over Charlton. Summer signing from Montpellier. Newcastle clear, flicks on for Hales to control. Palace win it back. Two players end up on the deck and Newcastle get the call. Stokes. Lumsden. Should be intercepted by Green, and he is. This is Riley. Down the line for Blanchard, can't keep it in play, it's difficult. Spinning away from a hit with a bit of pace. Hales to control. Palace to win it back. Push forward once again to Milligal, and she's got Verdon on the left-hand side. Stengel over on the right side. Verdon still has it, it's opened up nicely! Oh, that was not far away. Backed away from Ashley Verdon here. Looking to just curl it into the bottom corner. Another player that's scored in 3 competitions this season. Signed from Ajax. Title winner in the Netherlands. Not just with Ajax, but also with Twente. Stops forward. Overhead towards Blanchard. Spot a head tennis between the two teams. Flick forward. Swarby only as far as Lumsden. Taken down here by Stobbs. Lumsden again. It's a positive run. What's at the end of it? Eventually the shot does come in, but it's always going wide of the target. I'm not 100% certain that was meant as a shot. Maybe just trying to feed it back inside the 6-yard box here. Didn't really have the bend to trouble the keeper. Swarby. Stengel tries to win it back. Stobbs is good with the ball at her feet. Needs a little bit of help. This is Cataldo. Stengel. Palace have it again. Lexi Potter to control, but held up by the presence of a couple of Newcastle midfielders. Riley gets it out from underneath the feet, tries to take it beyond Demi Stokes, but Stokes has got the experience and guile here. Lumsden can't keep it in. Well, the 45 nearly up. We haven't had too many stoppages, 1 for an injury, so we might get a minute or two potentially of added on time at the end of the first 45 of this cup tie. Yeah, 2 minutes is the call. Seems about fair. Swarby taking things into her own hands. Milligal, they're backing away from Milligal. What can Riley do? Hoist it towards the far post. Oh. Well, it was Swarby who was arriving. Started and nearly finished the move. Clever ball from Riley. Swarby just unable to make it hers. That would have been some goal. Just sensed that she might need to take it from defence further forward a little more regularly for Crystal Palace, just looking to make that extra player. Lexi Potter with the initial header. Further forward by Stengel. Here she is again. Blanchard. Hit the post, remember, in this first half for Crystal Palace, looking to finish the half on a high. This is Riley. They move away from her, and again, it's good delivery. Just unable to find Ashley Verdon. Up and under here for Andrews to chase. Last act of the first half maybe here. Can Newcastle make it pay? Ricochets around. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. Palace come away with possession. It's been a good contest. No quarter asking given with these two. Some strong challenges, but fair ones. Murphy lets the ball come across her, but unable to find a teammate. Well, that's the half. Defence is on top here at the VBS Community Stadium. Blanchard hitting the post for Crystal Palace. Newcastle getting a little lucky, but certainly both teams have found it difficult to progress beyond very, very good defences. Half-time here is Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 0. But Newcastle have been a threat on the counter, as we've seen. Final check from Megan Wilson, in charge this afternoon at the VBS Community Stadium. And we are underway for this second half. Fifth round of the FA Cup. And a poor touch there that sees the ball spin out of play. And Newcastle will look to try and take advantage. Stokes initially took the throw. Blanchard will try and win it back. Stobbs loses out. Palace do have it. That's a decent looking shot. Oh, just over, then broke through and just couldn't keep it down. Well, we mentioned her opportunity late on in the first half. She did well to let the ball come across her body here, but just couldn't keep the effort down. Big chance gone. First opportunity of the second period falls for Crystal Palace. And just to let you know that change confirmed, India Page Riley was the player that went off, and Erling has come on. So that is confirmation of that alteration for Palace. Verdon looks to get in again here. And there's confirmation of that change as well for you for this second period. Riley, who was promoted to the starting lineup for this game. But Erling is on. Finn, who was signed from Rosengard, having been a regular for the Swedish side last season. And back come Palace again, and it's a clever ball in. Verdon goes for that. Cordiamone does well. Just a presence, I think the keeper was enough there to put Verdon off. Well, Palace have started this second half really strongly. It's a debut, incidentally, for Erling, having signed from the Swedish club. Title winner last season, last of 3 title wins she's been involved in with Rosengard. So played for Vaxjö and Brøndby in Denmark, the latter. So 2 opportunities inside the opening first 2 minutes of this second half. Palace have upped the ante a little bit here, you sense? Still not quite ready to restart as Cordiamone continues to get just a little bit of treatment here. It was an awkward ball in for her to deal with. It was a dangerous ball in as far as Palace were concerned. Just wonder if a change might need to be made here for Newcastle. Grace Donnelly is on the bench, as is Hannah Hawkins, incidentally. Has played a couple of times in the League Cup. Just wonder whether an alteration might be forthcoming. Laura Kaminski there, the left-hand side front row. The coach of Crystal Palace. Spent 3 seasons as assistant at Tottenham, of course. Part of the coaching group that gained promotion to the WSL. Worked with the England women's under-19 side as well. And did brilliantly with Palace last season, of course, to see them jump into the top flight. Newcastle players have farmed the football here, just looking to keep warm. It is cold in the capital, south of the river today. The temperatures dipped over the last sort of 48 hours, really, back end of the week into the weekend. Not seen the incident again, but it was an awkward sort of coming together with the Newcastle keeper and the Palace forward. Well, no sign of the second string keeper warming up for Newcastle here. I haven't seen Becky Langley suggest to either Grace Donnelly or indeed Hannah Hawkins to go through some exercises. Maybe the decision might have to be made to alter that if treatment continues, and they are concerned about their number one. Palace backing league action, incidentally, against Manchester United. That's not going to be easy next week. And then they've got a couple of home games in the league into March against Liverpool and Aston Villa. They really need to start picking up points. They will target those 2 games, I'm sure. And then the away game against Everton, which will be crucial for them, you sense. They are currently 3 points behind Leicester, 4 points behind Villa. From a Newcastle standpoint, they've got big games coming up against Bristol City, rather, in the Championship. And then away at Durham, local derby. And then Sunderland, we referenced that game because it could be a huge crowd scheduled to take place at St James's Park. 16,000 tickets sold already. And there's still a good few weeks, of course, until that game takes place. So that'll be one to keep an eye on, and certainly one to watch. Be a really good atmosphere there. Restarted, Moan's okay to continue. And in a way, that break, although it came very early on in this second half, might just suit Newcastle a little, because Crystal Palace flew out the traps in this second half. Maisari to take the goal kick. Palace to build from the back. Gale back to Manchestari, goes long. This is Stokes. Still Newcastle probe away. Better ball forward towards Hales. Just drifts out of play, though. That's been the problem. She's been making the runs, but for whatever reason, not been able to get on the end of them. Palace build from the back again, then a little more direct. Falls for Stengel. Good running from Woodham. We saw that in the first half as well, over on the left-hand side. Stengel can't pick it up again. And now it's Stobbs to come forward for Newcastle. She's got Amy Andrews on the right-hand side, but Palace managed to win it back. Lexi Potter plays it forwards. Annabelle Blanchard on the move once again. Lois Joel gets goal side, but this is Stengel looking to get away here, and she's strong, and it's still Katie Stengel. Well, the angle was getting ever tighter. Claudia Moan makes the stave. does well to shrug off the attentions of the defender there, Stengel, but the shot is comfortably taken by the Newcastle keeper. And we'll play it out short. Palace win it back towards Vidden. That big opportunity right from the get-go in this second half. Gallagher's won it back towards Stengel. Intercepted. Newcastle have it once again. Neat turn from Lois Joel. Push towards Amy Andrews. Does manage to play it forward, but the layoff isn't great. Murphy helps win it back. Tones for the error. Joel for Stokes. Stobbs calling for it. Stokes has gone the other way. Lumsden further left. Hales waits inside the penalty area. Lumsden still has it. Here she is again. Runs into trouble. Crystal Palace win it back. Good work from Lexi Potter. Now it's with Stengel. Always willing to run with the ball at her feet. She's been brought down there. That's going to be a free kick. Stubbs the perpetrator. Blanchard plays a clever ball towards Erling, and the substitute still has it here, looking to play it back. Does it go out of play? No. Well, look how many Crystal Palace players there were inside the penalty area. Any cutback would have been buried. Good ball to put the substitute through over on that right-hand side, but the cutback not good enough. Crowded out. Bounces through. Josie Green will play it back. They determined run from the defender. Forward by Potter. Blanchard on the move. Plenty of players forwards here. Verdon is one of them. And it ricochets up off guard into the arms of Claudia Moan. But you do sense that Crystal Palace have really upped it in this second half. Whatever Laura Kaminski has said at the break seems to have worked, because there is a bit more energy in industry. They're picking their passes, and as the game wore on, fatigue might set in just a little bit. Flicked on towards Ashley Verdon. Gale. Verdon goes again. We know that she's got the pace to keep this one in play. Does brilliantly to get there. But an even better challenge to win it back. Credit Deanne Cooper. This is Amy Andrews. Murphy's flick is good. Andrews plays it forward. Clever football from Newcastle. They get a break there. It was 3-on-1. It was unlucky. It came to Lois Joel really quickly. There's not a lot that she could do with that, in fairness. This is Murphy once again. It's a battle at the minute, isn't it? This is Stengel to play it forward. It's a clever ball. And now then, what can Blanchard do here? Looks to play it towards this near side. He's just behind Miller Gale. Palace look to keep the pressure on. This is Woodham to get the ball in. It'll fall to the edge of the area. Gale to try and keep the move alive. It's all a bit awkward. Vi. Still Katrina Vi. She's got Lily Woodham on the left-hand side. Verdon back towards Woodham. It was an awkward bounce, wasn't it? Still Lily Woodham looks to take the shot on. Claudia Moan makes the save. And you can see the keeper is suggesting to a defender, say, look, you've got to get tight. You can't let them get the shots away. She's made some very important saves. Palace have it again. Lily Woodham. Lexi Potter. Really good awareness to see Annabelle Blanchard. Palace come forward once again. It's through here towards Stengel. Can she chip the keeper? Really good save. Claudia Moan once more. Oh, she's earning her money this afternoon, certainly since the restart. Terrific keeping once again. Changes for Newcastle here. No real surprise. We're going to see Katie Barker and also Rachel Furness. Experienced midfielder coming on and a younger attacker. Barker just 24, Furness 36, who's got an awful lot of quality in the boots. Lumsden, who's been a little quieter in this second half to come off, and Demi Stokes as well. Those are the changes. Well, what sort of influence can Barker and Furness have? Barker scored 14 goals last season, yet to score this term. Former England junior international. Furness, well, she's been around for a long time. She's got an awful lot of quality. Scored against Sheffield United in the 1-1 draw recently. Signed from Bristol City, won the championship with them a few years ago. Also a second-tier title winner with Liverpool. Swarby. Here comes the Jamaican international. Now it's with Katrina Vai, plays it in field, that's clever. Guile, and it's Verden. Well, she's getting the opportunities, but she's failing to take them. It's another one that flies high and wide, this time from a tighter angle. But she's getting closer, as are Palace. Verden doing the pressing. Flicked away, but given away. Lexi Potter. Blanchard. Palace really turning the screw at the moment. Woodham to cross. Blanchard to turn. Can she get the shot away? Not quite. Still has possession. Ashley Verden to curl in. It's blocked and cleared. Newcastle are having to dig deep. But there is an opportunity for a rare counter. It might fall for Shania Hales here. Blanchard. Again, this good movement. Body shape excellent. Oh, that's terrific football. Ashley Verden once again. She's had a couple of goes from this type of angle. Still Ashley Verden to play it back. Blanchard with a turn. It's a good block. Wonderful turn. The block from Furness was excellent. Well, Palace really kicking on here. But they haven't managed to make the breakthrough. Vai. Gale to the right-hand side. Green to play it back once again. Where is the opening here? Learning to get to the byline, pulls it back, cleared off the line pretty much. It wasn't goal bound, but it was nodded away from a very dangerous area. Palace continue to press. Swarby has to be alert. Blanchard had a brilliant game so far in midfield. She's been a real threat, such a quality performer on the ball. Lexi Potter, Stengel. Still Palace probe. Short ball. And the shot is good. Oh, it's off the crossbar, Milagile. Wonderful hit. Just in dipping off. Newcastle come forward. Swarby is across. Deals with it really well. Well beyond the hour. The referee's going to go across here to speak with Claudia Moan once again, who's down. While we wait, we can just see how close Crystal Palace came to breaking the deadlock. They've hit the post in the first half. and the crossbar in the second. Minagal with an absolute wonderful shot, but well, frame the goal coming to the rescue. Those Newcastle supporters behind the goal. They would have had a good view of that and would have been concerned. Seeing changes here for Newcastle, as you can see. Jasmine McQuaid is coming on. And McKeegan stops coming off. So Stubbs off and McQuaid on. Further alteration for Newcastle. So just a bit of a pause to proceedings here. Just wonder what Newcastle are going to do with their keeping situation. Looks like there is a little bit of movement on the bench, but we've seen the outfield change. Claudia Moan, okay to continue it would appear. Referee back in the middle. Drop ball when we restart. Swaby. Right. Play forward. Hales will flick it on. She might get another chance here as well. She tries to slip it through to the left-hand side. Eventually the shot is rather wild and over the crossbar by quite some way. Shot taken on by Lois Joel. Did score in the League Cup against Manchester United back in December. It's of London City. It's a Palace throw. Going to the midpoint of this second half. First touch for Furness to play it forward. Murphy looks for a quick 1-2 with Barker. Keeps it in play. And a deeper ball in, it's towards Hell. Can she control? She can't. The shot does come in, but it's over the crossbar. Well, it's taken on, but it's over. Needed to keep the knee over the ball. Jasmine McQuaid here came to her in a good position just inside the penalty area. Netted against Forest, the winner in January. Had an England under-23 call-up in December. But that was an opportunity for Newcastle. We've not really seen too many since the restart. Well, momentum lost a little bit. Newcastle have reset, and this is Hales over the head of Murphy. Space for Amy Andrews on the right-hand side, perhaps here to dig out the cross. Well, Manchester it's not had too much to do in this second half. Swabby. He's looked very assured at the back. She looks like a really good signing for Crystal Palace. Change incidentally for Palace. Managala's gone off and Ikato has come on. So another alteration, this time for Crystal Palace. Confirmation that number 5 for Crystal Palace has come on. Ikato, the Swede. And number 22, a reminder, Managal is the player to have come off. Here is Verden. It's on the right side if she can curl one. Oh, well, it seemed to take a deflection and then just pushed away. It wasn't the most vicious shot that you'll see, but maybe the pace was taken off it just a little bit here. Did take a bit of a deflection, didn't it? And then it was just fingertip behind for a corner. Corner for Crystal Palace. Outswinger by the looks of things here. And it comes, nodded down, not quite away. Now it is. Newcastle living dangerously once again at the back. Drilled in again by Woodham. Blanchard's going to keep it in play. Where is the opening here for Palace once again? Palace probe looking to build momentum once again. Woodham. Still looking to find a way down the left-hand side. Swabby forward, a little more direct. Well, 19 minutes remaining. Extra time is starting to loom. Newcastle have possession. Nodded to this near side. Lily Woodham has it again. Vin on the left-hand side, still full of running, and she'll get there here. Ashley Vin to play it back. Lily Woodham once again. Plenty of good work down this left-hand side for Palace. They're looking to switch play here. This is Swarby who thought about the shot and then rather timidly just taps it away, and suddenly the break is on here. And it's Murphy getting forward for Newcastle. McQuaid calling for it. She's missed one opportunity. Tries to just lift it into the path of that left-hand side. And that's going to go out for a corner, I think. Another change here. Abby Larkin is coming on. Change made with Swampy coming off. Meanwhile, problem here for Emily Murphy, who's down getting a little bit of treatment by the looks of things. Larkin is used as a substitute exclusively in the WSL, the teenager. Might be a little bit of a reshuffle at the back here for Crystal Palace after that alteration. And I suspect we're going to get quite a little bit of added on time, given the stoppages that we've had for various reasons. Cordiamo and the Newcastle keepers had treatment on a couple of occasions. Murphy's just gone off here, but will come straight back on. Forward by Potter. Controlled by Stengel. Flicks in field. Palace lose possession, then win it back. Potter battles in midfield and does well, but the tap forward is a little too hard. And Newcastle will look to try and clear, but that one's going to go out of play. Well, Palace have been much the better side in this second half, that is for sure. They've created the big chances, they just haven't taken them. Newcastle have had to ride their luck, they've had to rely on their keeper as well to keep them at 0-0. But while it is 0-0, they will still have a bit of a puncher's chance of going through here and trying to get a late goal to prevent extra time. Murphy to turn, edge of the area, still going. Good positive run, good balance on the ball. She was fouled, free kick here, Newcastle. Palace complaining there, Josie Green saying, well, hang on, you let it go, and there was an advantage played, and now you're pulling it back because Newcastle didn't really do too much with the ball. Still, the discussion goes on. Dangerous position this. Big opportunity for Newcastle to take this one on. And it comes, oh, just over the crossbar. It was dipping, not quite enough. Really well struck, this one. See what she was trying to do here. Just get it up and over the wall and then try and whip it back down. Not the worst effort at all from a Newcastle point of view. Punt forward here for Virden to chase. It's a bit of an old-fashioned up and under here. No one really wants to go for it. Cataldo is underneath it. And then a touch from Lois Joel, who did have that shot incidentally with the free kick. Now a chance at the other end. What can Palace do? We're not quite in next goal wins territory, but we're getting there. Blanchard then to maybe curl in 5 in Palace colours way. She leaves it, in fact. It's the outswinger, nodded up into the air by Stengel. Cleared away from the 6-yard box eventually, only as far as Blanchard once again here for Crystal Palace, who loses possession. Ball played down the line for Hales to try and chase. But that's good defensive work from Lily Woodham once again. She had a very assured performance over on the left-hand side for Crystal Palace. Palace have it again. Oh, giving away. Now then, what can Newcastle do? Murphy. Well, the diagonal was on, wasn't it, to this near side and Amy Andrews. Katrina Vai. Blanchard beaten on this occasion. It's not happened too often in this game, but Newcastle looking to make it pay. Vi manages to win it back, now playing centre half after Swelby's gone off. This is Lexi Potter. And again. Oh, Verdon controls. What can she do this time? Ashley Verdon tries to play it back. Good defensive work. Blanchard was getting there. This is Vi once again. It's Verdon once again. Looking to cut it towards the far post. Really good claim. Claudia Moen does well. We've got a player down here.
Keep going, keep going. Come on.
Just needed to flight the ball a little further away. Stengel was calling for it. It's another stoppage, and we've seen quite a few of them in this second half. Well, she will have plotted for extra time, I'm sure. Always planning for the unexpected, making sure you're prepared for whatever comes your team's way. Ona Kaminski surveys the scene as we move into the final 10, but given the stoppages that we've had in this second half, we might get 6 or 7 minutes of added on time, you know, maybe even more. Diana Cooper not moving particularly freely, moving across to that far side. Long pump forward, Hales underneath it, but won't get there. Headed away by Jessie Green. Newcastle have it again. A bit awkward in that central area. Blanchard tries to play it forward. It'll come towards Ashley Verdon. Renewed energy, I think, for the final 10. These players know they don't really want it to go to extra time, but that might be what we destined for. Josie Green turns it back well. Forward for Lexi Potter, terrific ball to the right-hand side. Now then, what can Palace do here? 4 inside the penalty area. Verdon is there! Wonderful goal! Terrifically taken. Well, you have to say that Crystal Palace have been the better side, and it's brilliantly worked from back to front in the blink of an eye. And how about this for a finish? She opens up her body really well and side foots it beyond Claudia Moen. Ashley Verdon, who's had opportunities throughout this game. She's missed chances, but she's always been willing to get in position. She's always been willing to run the channels, to get inside the penalty area. And that's a smart finish from a really good player. And it's Palace that lead Newcastle by a goal to nil. And the quarterfinals, only 9 minutes plus added on time away. Big goal for Crystal Palace, and it's a real blow for Newcastle, who have performed well, the championship side, but I'm sure their supporters would admit that Palace have been the better team since the restart. And they go again here, and this is Blanchard, who might be through. Oh. Gaps are appearing, chances being created, but again not taken. Newcastle seeing their defence preach, but the shot was always curling away. Well, what have Newcastle got left? A goal down here with 7.5 minutes remaining, but as we've mentioned already, there will be some significant minutes of added on time, I would imagine, here. Ashley Verdon again, the goal scorer, to race free to the edge of the area. Still Ashley Verdon to pull it back, and this is Blanchard. Still might get the shot away, crowded out eventually. Really smart cutback, wasn't it? But Newcastle's defenders were on Blanchard really quickly. Verdon closing down. Newcastle, calm as you like, play it away. Murphy. Don't rule out Newcastle just yet. They will battle. And they might be able to create something here. Now there's Joel unable to keep the move alive, and well, Palace coming forward full of energy still. This is Ashley Verdon again. Blanchard outside are the two best players for Palace. Oh, Blanchard can't get there. He's not the best of balls. Tired pass to this near side. Lily Woodham still flying up that left-hand side, coming forward for Palace. You can see why they were the best side in the Championship last season. This showing, struggling to see why they're struggling so much in the WSL, but it is a step up. But maybe if they can get a cup run, it will inspire them to try and pick up more points in the top flight. They're not completely done yet in the WSL, as we mentioned before. Only 3 points behind Leicester. Winning games breeds confidence and all that. Don't rule them out of staying in the top division. And for Newcastle, well, they can be proud of the way they play. It's not over yet. I think we might have 15 minutes left here. But given Newcastle's struggles in the League Cup and their form line through Sheffield United, in which Palace beat easily, I think they've done really well, Newcastle. Not been Shania Hales' day. She's battled hard. Ava Chapman is coming on, her first appearance of the season. Given a run out late in the Cup. Good to see. Good management from Becky Langley, I think. Threaded through now then. The back heel. Oh, unlucky. It's a nice idea. Pace of it sort of took it away from the plethora of Newcastle players who were racing forward. Flag is up far side here.
Ava higher, Ava higher, Ava higher. Higher, Ava. Good. Stay wide, don't go in.
Claudia Moan goes long. She can be proud of her performance as well. Some really good saves. Manchester hasn't had as much to do at the other end. Stengel's touch. Down the line from Erling. Signings have been good, haven't they, as well? I mean, Swarby's obviously come off. She's made a debut. Having not played for a club previously. And obviously Erling has come on and looked good over on the right-hand side. And if they can contribute, and obviously good players in different leagues, but top-flight leagues, in good teams, can Palace build on it? Oh, Josie Green goes to ground, just about does enough. It's still all action. Look at this. No one is backing away from 50-50s. It is a full-blooded cup tie, this one. Palace come forward again, and it's towards Ashley Verdon again. Oh! Could have had a hat-trick today. I think it's blocked, isn't it, this one? Blanchard and Verdon just keep getting into advanced areas. Takes it on a thigh. Cuts across it. Does it take a slight deflection away? Does. Corner. Palace corner, 2.5 minutes plus added on time remaining. Another one will probably seal the deal. Lily Woodham gets ready to take. Left-footed, low trajectory. It's cleared away. Real flat ball into the box. Got 2 balls on at the minute. Referee might have to stop play here. Oh, well, the ball was kicked off. He could have continued, couldn't she? But, well, I guess that's the rules of the game. Another throw. Newcastle inch up on this near side. They know that time is running out. I'm intrigued to see what the number is on the board. Forwards here for Lois Joe. One back by Palace. Sent down the line for Stengel. Looking for the run of Ashley Verdon. Turn from Deanna Cooper. And Newcastle will build from the back again. Got to try and get the ball forward a little quicker for my money. Blanchard to curl to the far side, kept in play by Katie Stengel. Quick 1-2 with Blanchard again. Stengel still has it here. Difficult to dispossess. She's got a lot of quality with the football at her feet. Blanchard likewise had a terrific game in midfield. Some really good performances all round. Owen keeps it in play. This is Stengel. Verdon is calling for it. Blanchard wants it back. Great run! Oh! Well, did everything right. The patience over on the far side, the build-up, the injection of pace, the first and second touches, and that's a save, I think, isn't it? Because that was goal-bound, but for the intervention of the keeper, and it's another corner. That would have been brilliant. Well-worked opening. They didn't panic, they didn't try and force it. All considered and measured, short, sharp passing on the far side, just a corner to show for it. Palace in this second half have been excellent. In comes the delivery again, cleared away. Well, the ball did go up. I think it's 10 have added on time, which feels about right. Only up for a split second before it was taken down again. Cataldo. Awkward bounce here for Cooper. Up into the air. Palace have it again. Confirmation that we're into 10 minutes of added on time.
Come on, let's go. Ava, drop short, Sophie. Now you spin. Go.
Chapman just feeds it forwards. Well, Newcastle, when the ball went up, if they spotted it, I'm sure it would have got to them now. Would have thought, well, there's still a chance for us, just a goal in it. This is Stengel, shows really good strength. It's still Katie Stengel, still going, runs into the keeper, stands her ground well. Not for the first time. Claudia Moan does brilliantly. So 8 minutes remaining here, and added on 10 at the end of the 90. Palace searching for a second that would rubber stamp victory and passage through to the quarterfinals for the first time in their history, let's not forget. But it's been a real battle against a stubborn Newcastle side. Might not have the quality of Palace, a championship team, but they are getting there. We know that there's an awful lot of good things within the club. And Newcastle striving to make that next step up after being a third-tier team, of course, just last season. It's been a significant rise. There's been some good investment and some good people at the club as well. And, well, you know that in the years to come, Newcastle will be rising. And sooner rather than later, there will be a WSL club. I'm certain about that. Ashley Verdon breaking forward. Canto calling for it, left-hand side. It's come back towards Blanchard, helps it on brilliantly here. And then the shot takes a deflection and goes in. Well, that will seal the deal. Well, Abby Larkin on that right-hand side, on her to substitute. As the ball fell to her, she took the shot on, and for once the deflection does not go Newcastle's way. Well struck. Defender coming across, I think it was Furness that was trying to get the block in. It just ricocheted up over the keeper and spun into the back of the net. And although it's a cruel way to concede a goal, you tend to think that the scoreline is about right and does not flatter Crystal Palace. Late changes here for Palace. So it looks like Verden and Stengel are both coming off, have both contributed to a good performance here. Alex Hughes has had 1 or 2 injury issues, is coming on. And it looks like we're going to see Clarissa Narisi as well. Canadian international signed from Håkan. She was a regular goal scorer, 20 and 65 for the Swedish side. So late alterations there with Verden who got the first goal, and Stengel who's been a real threat throughout going off. Confirmation there that Hughes and Larisi came on. Numbers 9 and 21. And Stengel, as we can see there, going off along with Ashley Verden. So late changes there now. The game is won. Well, this is Chapman for Newcastle. Looking for a late one here. Well, nice. Joel got herself in a really good position inside the penalty area, and she can strike a football. And she knows that was an opportunity. That's a really good turn. Fast feet. Shot towards the near post, but saved by Majasari. Newcastle come again. Race is run. Larkin's deflected effort. Surely as rubber stamp passage through. Still 4 minutes remaining. Cleared away. Takes a ricochet. It's an awkward looking bounce here. Well, suspicion of handball. Chapman is in. Well, the referee has given Crystal Palace the benefit of the doubt there. It just seemed to get stuck between 2 players. So the draw for the quarter-finals Tuesday, around about 6:30 from Wembley. And Palace will be in the hat. Really good achievement. Looks like Arsenal and Manchester City and Sunderland as well will make the quarter-final. Sunderland of the second tier, of course. Yesterday, as we mentioned, Manchester United easy winners, and Villa also making it through, beating Brighton by the odd goal in 5. Liverpool beat Rugby Borough. That was a bit of a story earlier on today. Rugby Borough, I think, were level at half-time. Liverpool, with their quality, telling fairly late on. They scored 2 goals in the final 6 minutes, so they are through as well. Quarterfinals that are shaping up really nicely. Of course, that Chelsea-Everton game kicking off shortly. But Palace, if they play like they did today, I mean, you could argue they deserve to have scored more goals. They'll be pleased with a clean sheet as well. Newcastle are good, as we know, in the Championship. It's been a good test for Laura Kaminski's side, and she'll be really proud of the fact that Palace are making it through to the quarterfinals for the first time. Newcastle haven't given up. Murphy coming forwards here. It's towards Chapman, just a little bit slow to react, but she got herself in a good position. And Newcastle's time will come. Fought hard to make it through to the 5th round. Cataldo. Into the final minutes of the added-on 10. Goals from Veerden and Larkin in this second half, putting paid to a determined and stubborn challenge from Newcastle, but it's the Women's Super League side that will be in the draw for the quarter-finals on Tuesday. Chapman to take the shot on from distance, easily saved by Mad Jasari. Gets it out from underneath the feet well, but shot from distance that doesn't really trouble the Finn. Comfortable stop. And those Palace fans will be hoping to get a home draw here. Maybe look for Sunderland in the quarters, or do they fancy taking on one of the bigger teams? A couple of games away from a Wembley final, that is special. Had the 10 minutes of added on time. Referee's going to allow a little longer. We had the odd stoppage and of course the restart for the goal as well, and added on time here. So naturally just playing a little bit more, and an opportunity for Newcastle to come forwards here. Chapman on that right-hand side. Murphy with a determined run. I've been impressed with her over the course of the game, and the shot does come in, takes a deflection from Cataldo. Well, not quite a Sunday afternoon stroll against the second-tier side. It's been a bit of a battle. They've had to play really well to get over the line here. But it will be Crystal Palace in the quarters. Full-time, Crystal Palace through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup for the first time in their history. Laura Kaminski's side had to work really hard to get the better of a determined and stubborn Newcastle United side. The Championship team did themselves proud, but moments of quality in a second half that Palace dominated did for the North East club. Veerden, really nice finish after terrific build-up play from Crystal Palace, made it 1, and a deflected effort from Abby Larkin in added on time sealed the deal as Crystal Palace defeated Newcastle United by 2-0 to progress from this 5th round tie.